13 WMAZ Midday starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karli Barnett. Thank you for joining us. Some Bibb County commissioners will meet this afternoon to keep working toward a final budget for next year. Yesterday, facing tomorrow's deadline, commissioners couldn't agree on a new 2019 budget, but they did approve an interim budget. That temporary measure includes no millage rate increase, all funding cuts for outside agencies, and 1 month of funding for Recreation Department. Julie Moore, the county's assistant manager, says this temporary budget would fund those programs only for the next 30 days. The interim budget went through with a 6-3 vote after nearly 3 hours of discussion. Commissioner Lane Lucas voted no. She says she hopes the Budget Committee can find funds to keep the outside programs running.
And then for those sitting out here clapping because, the interim calls for no tax increase, that's not going to last. If we are going to fulfill and carry out the services that are needed in this community, we are going to have to increase the mill rate.
Well, that Budget Committee continues its work at 4:30 this afternoon. We will have the latest on their progress tonight on 13 WMAZ News at 5 and at 6. Now, we're already seeing some of the effects of this interim budget. Middle Georgia Regional Library posted on their Facebook page, quote, "The interim budget for Macon Bibb includes the elimination of library funding. Effective Monday, July 2nd, the Riverside, Sherling, and Lanford branches will close indefinitely. The main library downtown, the Washington Memorial Library, will remain open until all reserves are depleted." They put signs on the door asking that people contact Macon Bibb commissioners, asking them to restore library funding. And this has caused a lot of discussion on our social media with mixed reactions, so we're going to take a look at some of your comments right now. Our first one comes from Fran Parker. She agrees with the budget cuts, saying something has to be cut. This is better than vital services for our county. Now, Samantha disagrees. She hates to see this and takes her daughter to the Shirlington branch every 2 weeks. But then another comment says, "Admittedly, I haven't been to the library in years. If they are only keeping one open, it should be a nice one." But many people agreed with Bruce Cox when he said we need our libraries even more during the summer. Kids are out of school, adding our Lanford Library is wonderful and always busy, especially on Sundays. Now, we still would like to hear from you. You can check out this story on our 13 WMAZ Facebook page and tell us what you think. Happening today, the man accused of killing 5 people at a Maryland newspaper is in custody and set to stand before a judge. Kenneth Craig has more on what charges he could face.
Dollars for funeral costs.
Authorities say Ramos is not cooperating with police and that he damaged his fingertips to avoid being identified by them. Now, looking ahead in local news, this weekend is the 69th annual Watermelon Festival in Cordele.
We've got arts and crafts and entertainment over at Crisp Regional Hospital Park. There'll be eating contests for the kids, seed spitting contests for the adults. The theme this year for the festival is May the Melon Be With You, which we had someone design Yoda melon, Yoda looking like a melon.
Yoda melon, that made me laugh. The folks at Jackson Farm say this is the busiest time of the year, not just because of the festival, but because most growers want their melons out of the field by July 4th. So tonight at 6, Suzanne Lawler will have more on this festival, and we will see a seed spitting contest, say that 3 times fast, to see who gets the bragging rights. There you have it.
All right, a seed spitting contest. That'll be very interesting.
All right, thank you, Hunter. We'll check back with you again in a few.
All right.
Now, going into the weekend, we are 2 days away from this new hands-free driving law all across the state. Now, if your car is not ready yet, we have you covered. We have some different devices that you can buy for your car. Billy Laster is the owner of Audio Zoo off of Mercer University Drive. His store sells mounts that range from $20 to $25. And Laster says if you want a Bluetooth radio, the cheapest option for that is about $169, which includes installation as well. If you want maybe a little fancier radio installed, Laster says the installation price could be higher depending on the make and model of your vehicle, but he says his store has options for anybody's budget. Now, with the holiday coming up, some of you may be planning on watching some fireworks while sitting out on the water, but officials are warning people to take safety precautions. Georgia's Department of Natural Resources says boating under the influence is the leading cause of accidents out on Georgia's lakes and rivers. Law enforcement says that if you drive a boat with an alcohol percentage of higher than .08, you can get arrested for BUI. Lake St. Clair says they've already had 10 this year. DNR says you are allowed to drink on a boat, but if you are the driver, you have to stay below that legal limit. For 4th of July weekend, DNR says they will be watching for any reckless activity out on the water. And the first of the Independence Day celebration starts as soon as tonight. Tonight in Centerville, family and friends can go out to Center Park for music, food, of course, some fireworks. There will be 8 food truck vendors, bounce houses for the kids, and live music performances. Everything's going to kick off at 6 tonight. Fireworks are going to happen around 9:30 after it gets dark. Crews will light those off from the Galleria parking lot, and they say you will get a great view from the park. And our own Hunter will be live there from Centerville tonight at 5 and 6 to keep us updated on all those festivities. Now, once a staple of toys from Christmas to birthday shopping, Toys R Us closes its last stores. We take a look at saying goodbye to an iconic toy store up next. Welcome back. One of the most recognizable names in American retail is closing its doors for the last time today. A childhood favorite, of course, Toys R Us. It started quite a buzz with this photo going viral of Jeffrey the giraffe packing his bag. Isn't that just a sad photo? And he's heading out of an empty store. John Schumo reports on the end of Toys R Us.
To what was once the world's biggest toy store.
Well, Toys R Us released a statement on their site asking one thing of its former patrons: don't ever grow up and to play on. That is too sweet. Now, Hunter, I don't know if this was your time, but I remember I wanted to be on Nickelodeon so bad because you got a Toys R Us gift card when you won the game shows.
Oh,
Remember
really?
that? Remember that?
That
Yeah.
might have been a little before my time.
All right, I'm a couple years older. Don't rub it in.
I'm sorry about that. The never grow up part. I think I got that part right. All right.
Welcome back. Before we get to the forecast, I would like to point out that I am only 3 years older than Hunter, who made it sound like it was quite the contrast.
That's not what I was trying to say. Anyways, she kind of gave me a refresher on some of those Nickelodeon shows. They're
those
coming
game
back to me now. What
shows.
was the one you were talking about?
You had the Legends of the Hidden Temple, Figure It Out.
That's the one. I used to watch
And the kids would
that.
always win a Toys R Us gift card, and I remember thinking, I got to get on that show.
All right.
But
well,
no slime in our forecast. That's good.
No slime in our forecast. Here's a look at the temperatures through this afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you back here at 5, 6, and 11 tonight.
The news continues now 24/7 on 13WMAZ.com. But first, a look back at the week that was. This is home. As always, it's straight from the heart.